Yellow? Eddie's in pain now. He'll have to call you back.
Hello everybody, this is Chevrefee C of YouTube. So I had another version of this video that is a bit longer, but due to feeling stumped of how I want to go about with editing, I am just gonna cut my losses, re-record everything, and try to make it smaller. I really need to practice on getting to the goddamn point more often. But I do have a bit of a story about the time I attempt on making my own UTAU Voicebank. But for those in the back, I should probably explain what is UTAU. UTAU is basically a VocalSynth software that generates singing. It's basically like Vocaloid, but it's free to use, and you don't have to pay money for it. There is another version of this software that came out in recent years called OpenUTAU, which is much more user-friendly compared to the OG, and something that I'm more used to be honest. Side note, while I have used 2 out of the 3 software I've mentioned, plus VocalSynth Basic, I have no plans on using Vocaloid or Krypton's own version of the software, Pia Pro. I know that that's basically the most popular software since that's where Hatsune Miku is at, but I just personally have no interest in using it. And plus, the fact that both VocalSynth Basic and either UTAU software are both free to use is basically bonus points for me. One more thing, but it's much more viable to make a voice bank in UTAU compared to Vocaloid and even SynthV. And with that out of the way, let's get around to it. What got me into making an UTAU voice bank? Well, initially I was just wanting to use UTAU voice banks for voice blips for RPGs, so basically like Undertale. I won't get into the reasons of the why I wanted to do it, but that's what initially kicked it off. And then I got bitten by the UTAU bug and thought, what if I make my own voice bank? And everything went to hell. Just kidding. But that's what basically happened. So I went ahead and tried and failed to follow YuppireUTAU tutorial, which I'll link in the description. I recorded a CV voice bank for my first UTAU Sodoko Mela. I chose CB since that is like the most simple to do, and it wouldn't be as hell. I know VCV is smoother, but I have anxiety about fucking that up royally. I did try my best with the recording stuff, but I guess I was doing way too much at once, especially with the OTOing, and because of that, everything just fell right the fuck apart. Like, I was not hearing sounds in the UTAU software itself, and I was actually kind of getting really upset. So yeah, due to that, I had to commission Raccoon to help me out with the OTOing, and after he cleaned everything up, especially given the fact that I recorded with a shitty headset microphone to record, I think it sounds nice, surprisingly, for Sodoko, because, again, I recorded with a shitty headset microphone. So I initially thought, okay, so it seems that I suck at OTOing and may have to rely on other folks for help. Keyword being initially. Why? Because I saw a video in my recommended that's like a VTuber OTOing for their own UTAU. And it doesn't look as complicated as I thought. Is it time consuming? Probably, but it looks more bearable to do. At least for my dumbass. But yeah, after that, I decided that I want to give OTOing another shot since, well, it's not as complicated as I thought it was going to be. So I did a thing of testing out recording vowels, and I even used Oremo to have the base OTO for the vowels. And you're never going to fucking believe. Yeah, I was upset with myself for not figuring this shit out sooner. I was especially hard on myself. So yeah, that solidified the fact that I should probably give OTOing another shot. And this time, with a C+V voice bank, since that has a much shorter recording requirements compared to the minimum Japanese CV requirements. And hell, I thought that using something like VLabeler would kind of make this easy. Right? Well, that said, the journey on getting to even remotely sounding right was a nightmare. And to showcase of what I mean, I am going to share these 3 parts just to illustrate of the hell I've put myself through. Part 1, the ass disaster. Please kiss him. Ask someone for help. Part 2, the simple solution of using a different resampler after getting that suggestion from Reddit. And part 3, how I got the voice to sound after generating FRQ files and using the FRQ editor to fix the bloody mess. So yeah, quite the goddamn journey! Now granted, Chevrefee C+V bank is still a little sounding scrunkly and might be a little worse than her CV voice bank, but it's still better than the eldritch horror voice that she previously has. Fuck, why'd I do this to myself? Now, I know that before I did ask for help on the UTAU subreddit, I did try to commission Ryan again, however, it was initially declined because C+V, especially the way it works with the phonomizer and uses ARPABET, a phoning system that C+V and ChevrefeC uses for their English voice banks, is a relatively new concept, and I might have asked for his help at the worst time since it was before he was able to do commissions for English ARPASing, which also uses ARPABET. Now, I do believe that it is when it is right to decline the request. And for those that are worried, don't be. I was never sent an invoice before it seemed that he declined my request, so I still have my money. I only paid for the Japanese CV voice bank, which, you know, is what I did before I even planned it on the C+V voice bank. But yeah, the whole journey of getting Chevrefee C+V voice bank to work was kind of a wild one, let me tell you! So, what is the main takeaway of the story? If you want to make your own UTAU voice bank, I highly suggest you take your time with it and take it slow. Even if you're working on something as simple as a CV or C+V. I had to learn that the hard way multiple times during the past month or so. Now, there are a few things I want to state before I end this video. 1. While this may sound blasphemous for folks who have used the OG software for years, I definitely prefer OpenUTAU over OGUTAU. As I stated previously, it's a little bit more user-friendly compared to OGUTAU. And 2, honestly, I kind of consider UTAU as one of my new hobbies now, because for the past years, when I was feeling down in the dumps about things I won't get into, a friend of mine suggested that I should get into a new hobby so I would be able to cheer up. And I was kind of having trouble with it during 2021, 2022, and especially 2023. But for 2024, I guess I could safely say that, yeah, UTAU fits the bill. And hopefully after the ungodly recent events that happened, especially with everything becoming a little bit more scarier now, I hope I'll provide comfort for not only myself but for others as well. Sorry that I had to be serious for a moment, but given everything, I kind of feel like I need to say it. But back to the lighthearted side of things. After the many blunders that I've talked about in this video and the lessons that I've learned, hopefully that y'all got something out of this video. Or at the very least, find my blunders amusing. And on that note, that is that. This is Chevrefee C of YouTube signing out. Goodbye!